We'll start with the AFC East. All you need is one-word answers on these, Gaston. Contender or pretender? We'll start with the 1 seed, New England Patriots.
Contender.
Denver Broncos.
Contender.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pretender.
Baltimore Ravens.
Pretender.
LA Chargers.
Pretender.
Indianapolis Colts.
Pretender.
Buffalo Bills.
Contender.
All right. Let's get into the NFC.
Actually, I take that back. Bills are pretender too.
All right. Let's see if you're more lenient with the NFC. Chicago Bears.
Contender.
LA Rams.
Contender.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Contender.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pretender.
Seattle Seahawks.
Contender.
Green Bay Packers.
The biggest pretenders.
San Francisco 49ers.
Contenders.
At least you gave some more leniency on the NFC side. But as much as we want to talk about the good teams, and yes, it's more interesting with playoffs and whatnot, let's talk about the bad teams. Bad teams need some love too. And there are some teams that after this year, they're going to need to blow up their team and just need to rebuild. I think one team that everyone thinks of when they come to this is the Miami Dolphins. So Miami Dolphins, we'll keep it short, but what do you think are the main things that the Dolphins need to do this offseason to blow up and rebuild?
Fix their offensive line and get a new quarterback.
How about the Atlanta Falcons?
Start from scratch. You invested into 2 quarterbacks and both of them didn't work out.
When it comes to a player like, let's say, Drake London, are you keeping him on the team during this rebuild?
I'm trading him for picks.
What about Bijan Robinson?
You got to keep him.
All right. How about a team like we mentioned earlier with Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals? I think this is a team that a lot of thinks needs to blow it up, make a QB change, rebuild. If you were going to rebuild the Cardinals or retool, as some might say, what are you doing if you were the Cardinals general manager?
I'm getting a new coach, and I'm keeping Kyler as the starter, but I'm getting a new guy in the wings.
Yeah, I think after this draft, Walter Nolan in the first-round pick was injured, played really good when healthy, really good. I mean, excellent. Will Johnson, second-round pick, has played excellent. So I don't know if I'd want to move on from the GM in this case. Not really sure the history of the GM, to be honest. Probably should start learning that. But I don't think it's time to blow up the front office. But is Jonathan Gannon really the answer? A lot of people don't think he is. It's year 3. The team isn't trending up. But I don't know if I would say I need to fire him immediately. But obviously quarterback is the main thing that people are talking about when it comes to this team. Is there any other teams, Gaston, that you think need to blow it up and rebuild?
I mean, you could make the argument the Jets, but that's every year. So I don't think they really count. Somehow the Bears aren't on this list, so that's nice.
That is nice, but I'll throw out one team, the Las Vegas Raiders.
They're on that list. They do it every year too. You can't even. You already know
you're the Raiders owner. Let's say you're the Raiders owner. You're Mark Davis with your horrible bowl cut haircut. What are you doing to rebuild this team this offseason?
Getting a new haircut before the press conference. And then I think after that, keep Pete Carroll. And I think you do exit interviews with everybody and just see what is going on. I've never seen Pete Carroll lose like that.
Yeah, I mean, he is in his 70s, so.
I mean, he's been in his 70s for a while, I feel like. I mean, he's I don't know.
That chewing gum keeps you alive, man. It keeps you young.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know who needs to be fired. I mean, maybe the Steelers are a big one, actually, we could bring up, depending on how the rest of
Yeah.
their season goes.
Saw some reports about Mike Tomlin, potentially being on the hot seat, potentially Penn State looking to hire him as a coach and interview him. We'll see how that goes.
Very similar to
Obviously,
James
it'll be
Franklin.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But outside of those teams, I think those are kind of the main teams I would expect to blow it up. Like mentioned, the Jets kind of do that every year. So nothing new. First year head coach there, as well as the Saints and the Titans have the quarterback. Is more so finding a coach, but they're kind of in that second stage of the rebuild. But that being said, we're going to bring back the quarterback would you rather segment from last podcast. Last podcast, it was Tua, because how can you not talk about Tua and quarterback movement in a would you rather game? This is, again, randomly pulled. Gaston doesn't know who I'm picking, so I'm going to do a would you rather, and then I give a what quarterback would you rather have besides this one? The quarterback of this week is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Ooh,
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so Trevor Lawrence, would you rather have? And unlike last week, we don't need to do an explanation. We'll make this a quick segment. Just tell me, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or would you rather have this other quarterback? So we'll do Trevor Lawrence and Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
Trevor Lawrence or Dak Prescott?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence or Aaron Rodgers?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love?
Trevor Lawrence.
Wow. Trevor Lawrence or
well, I kind of had
Stroud?
to for that last one. I'm not going to say Jordan Love.
All right. Trevor Lawrence or CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud.
Trevor Lawrence or Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones.
Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield.
Trevor Lawrence or Bryce Young?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence or Bo Nix?
Bo Nix.
Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Oh,
Mac
my
Jones
God.
likes NBA young boy, so I got to go with him.
I cannot believe that. Mac Jones listens to NBA Youngboy. This is like John Gruden listening to NBA Youngboy. Will Howard
that's
put
how
me
you
on
know
this
he's
guy.
legit. That's when you know he's just starting quarterback. It's like, yep, that's what they should get.
All right, well, that's always a fun segment, the Would You Rather. I like that. We got to bring that back. It's a fun one. Glad that we can make it a little bit faster this time. But when it comes to quarterbacks in today's day and age, everyone wants to get an elite wide receiver. They want a wide receiver one. They want a Justin Jefferson. They want a Jamar Chase. They want a CD Lamb. But not everyone has a good quarterback as well as a good wide receiver. So in terms of quarterback wide receiver duos, we always think of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I mean, they were teammates in college. Now they're teammates in the NFL tearing it up. But when it comes to these quarterback wide receiver duos, I want to talk about who's the best quarterback wide receiver duos in the league. Maybe your top three. So if you had to list 1, 2, 3, start with 3, make your way up to 1. Quarterback wide receiver duos, what are the top 3 in the NFL, Gaston?
I'd say Darnold and JSN. I think they're a really good duo, especially on fantasy. Drafting JSN was one of the best decisions I ever made this year. I think number 2, I'd probably go Matthew Stafford and Puka. I think that's a really good one. And for number 1, this is going to sound so boring, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the exact order I'd put it in as of right now. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they go back to college. You look at their game against the Ravens, first game back for Joe Burrow. I mean, 3rd and longs, and they're making it look easy, tiptoeing out of bounds. I mean, the chemistry is unreal there on top of having all the talent in the world. JSN, Sam Darnold, a new combination this year, and has looked absolutely unreal. New offensive coordinator, new quarterback. JSN, completely different player, has really rose up to what we all expected him to be out of college and was only drafted 20th overall, if you can believe that. And then, like you said, Stafford and Puka. Puka almost breaking receiver records, kind of looking like Cooper Kupp did a few years ago, but younger, has that quicker burst of change of direction. Absolutely unreal. Stafford loves giving the ball to one receiver. We saw it with Megatron. We saw it with Cooper Kupp. Now it's Puka, an absolutely new level this year. So I agree with you. JSN, Darnold 3, Puka, Stafford 2, and of course, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, number 1. But in terms of what everyone loves to talk about, the MVP kind of seems to be a two-horse race at this point. Drake May and Matthew Stafford. If you had to pick one of those, which I'm assuming if you had to pick an MVP, it's going to be one of those two. Who are you picking and why?
I'm probably going to go Matthew Stafford. I think he's played a really. I think he's elevated his team more than Drake May has.
Okay.
I think both are really good players. I like Drake May more than Matthew Stafford. I also think seniority kind of favors into this too a little bit. And I think you're going to go with Stafford. I think it's very close, though. I mean, I think it can also change by the end. I don't think it's a done deal. I think it'll be different by playoffs. So
yeah, I see. If in terms of that, I think if you're saying who elevates their team more, I'm going to say Drake May. I mean, you look at his offensive line is pretty comparable to Stafford's in that, but you look at the weapons that he has. I mean, we're talking about Matthew Stafford has Kyron Williams on top of having Devontae Adams and Puka. May doesn't have that. I mean, May has not a bad wide receiver room, but he doesn't have an like elite wide receiver one, and Stafford has two of those guys. So I think in terms of elevating his team, May does it the most. You look at how consistent he is. He has 200 plus passing yards every single game. He's never hit 300 passing yards, which is hard to believe, but they've won 10 consecutive games, and it's just doing more with less. Kind of that Vrabel identity where you do more with less. And I think if you're talking in terms of more impact to his team, I would say that Drake May does. But I still think that Matthew Stafford is going to win the MVP as of right now because of just how unreal his touchdown to interception ratio is. And that's even with having 2 interceptions. He still only has 4 interceptions on the year, which is unbelievable. So I think when it comes down to the end of the season, he's going to have more touchdowns. He's going to have less interceptions, and he's going to win the MVP because of that. But the Rams go ahead and they lose a couple games. They don't win the division. This MVP is going to the guy up in New England who's only in his second year. Unbelievable. So the Patriots, I think, are going to be the 1 seed like we talked about earlier. If the Patriots end up being the 1 seed, the Rams aren't the 1 seed. Drake May winning it goes into a lot into winning is accounted for very much so when it comes to MVP award. Your team has to be a winning team for that to happen. So I still think Matthew Stafford maybe deserves it more. I mean, if you look at the statistics, but I think it's a very close race, and I think it'll sort itself out in the coming weeks. But the last 2 topics, offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball. If you had to give out the award as of right now to offensive rookie of the year, who would your pick be, Gasson?
Not Cam Ward. I think he's a great quarterback. I really do. I'm not as well versed in this topic. I think if you're gonna choose a quarterback, I think it's gonna be Jackson Dart's been really good, but he's also been hurt a lot. So who do you have? I'm kind of bad on this one the rookie topic.
I don't think there's one dominant guy, but I think there's been a few guys that stand out to me is Emeka Ibuka, Tyler Warren.
That's an easy one. Why didn't I say that? That was so easy.
Well, I mean, he was very dominant in the first few weeks, but then you have guys that came out like Quinshon Judkins has been surreal. Travion Henderson has been surreal the past few weeks. So, it's not cemented. There's a lot of players that this could be. Even T-Mac up there in Carolina, he's been balling as of lately. So, for a award that usually goes to a quarterback, it doesn't look like it's going to go to a quarterback this year. If it were to be anyone, it would be Jackson Dart. But the way that's been playing recently, not likely. But I'd say Emeka Ibuka is probably the favorite as of right now. But I think it's very much up in the air. It's no clear winner.
I would agree. I mean, I think Dart would be the quarterback option, and Ibuka would be the easy one. But I think he's been he's been hurt for a couple of weeks. He's been hurt a couple of weeks this season already, and I think that kind of factors into it.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Is there a rookie that stands out to you on the defensive side of the ball that you think deserves Defensive Rookie of the Year as of right now?
I don't have a candidate right now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I think the Falcons, they're two rookies, Jalen Walker on the edge and James Pierce Jr. Those guys have both been playing pretty well, but unfortunately they're not winning. I saw Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker for the Browns, second round pick, is the favorite currently to win this award. So not really as much of a major impact in those first selections like we expected from a guy like Abdul Carter, but we'll probably end up going to a first or second round pick. But that's all for this week's podcast. Thank you so much wherever you're tuning in. We hope to be back with you in 2 weeks. So thanks for tuning in to the week 15 and 14, going backwards on that podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below, any topics that you want us to cover, anything that you agreed with or disagreed with, and appreciate any support or any suggestions for future content. Huge thanks to Gaston. Gaston, go plug yourself in. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Go ahead and follow Gaston. His Instagram is @FlyFilms. He does some great work over there. Go mess with him. Shoot him a follow. Shoot him a comment. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in the next episode. Thank you.